Hey yo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. Today we're taking a look at the Outpost Defender from the Rise of Cobra line. This was one of the 4 Walmart exclusives from 2009. I think that's right. Comes in a cool little window box showing the actual Outpost Defender and the 2 figures. We've got Roadblock and Tripwire. This is a very cool looking set. And as you can see, the box really is just awesome. This one is pretty highly sought after because it is pretty awesome in of itself. It's a machine gun outpost, so you can't really go wrong with that, I suppose. Looking at the top, we've got the Walmart exclusive sticker branding thing and the Diorama expansion-y thing, along with some regular G.I. Joe battle continues kind of stuff. Flipping it over to the side, you can see the other sets that you can get in this. So you've got the Outpost Defender, which is what we're looking at today, the surveillance port, the heat-seek missile system, and the laser artillery weapon. The other side has a pretty cool looking photo or painting of the actual battle set itself. Very nice job on that. On the back we've got just the kind of generic kind of stuff. We've got Tripwire, Roadblock, the cool Outpost Defender, and a little excerpt up to the actual diorama thing. On the bottom of the set we've got the actual figure cards that you have to cut out if you want to collect those. Then the instructions on how to assemble the diorama, along with some instructions for the temporary tattoos that are included. So, yeah, this is a cool looking set, and it's, as I said, highly sought after, so I'm actually pretty excited to get into this thing and to tear it up. So, let's go ahead and get started. We've got a piece of tape on the back here holding the box shut. So we're just going to ever so gently slice that tape open. There's a little flap here on the side. You just pop that open. And then this should fold out. Should fold out. There we go. The bottom has this cardboard insert that has the accessory kit with it. And you just kind of flop this thing over, and the rest of the set should just slide out. Very cool looking. Let's take a look at the accessory kit first. Just taped in here, so we'll just slice the tape open. And we can discard this cardboard piece here. It's of no further consequence. We'll look at the accessory kit in a few moments, but I really want to look at this thing here. It does still look awesome, but we have to get it out first, so let's see how that happens. You've got a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here holding this diorama kind of in place, so we'll just start there and slice that tape, and then this diorama starts unfolding for us. Very cool. The antenna is kind of over here on the side, so don't forget about that. We'll get it out in a moment. We're going to turn it up on its side here for just a second. We've got a couple more pieces of tape here to deal with. This plastic tab here at the back. And this one at the front. Once that's free, we just kind of start poking that through the front side and gently flip it over. And then this should just slide out. And we have on the back here another piece of tape holding another flap on. So voila. Then that plastic piece comes off. So we'll toss that and slide this out. The antenna here is actually held in place by a rubber band, so we're going to go ahead and cut that rubber band off of this diorama piece and ever so gently pull that out. Set it to the side. The diorama, while we've got it out, is a pretty cool looking one. It shows a nice kind of bridge scene here with some marshland. It looks very cool when you actually assemble it. Very big, very nice, expansive thing here. So something like this. A little too big to show on camera in one piece, but yeah, it's a pretty cool looking set here. I don't know if y'all like these dioramas or not. I do like the images in them. I don't really keep them usually, but sometimes I just scan them and keep it for some use in the future as a digital version. So, but that's just me. Let's look at this set here. Very nice looking. We've got a lot of stuff we got to deal with here though, so let's just get started here. Where to begin? Not really any place that's better than the other, so flip this thing up to the top side. We've got a whole bunch of tape keeping all this stuff in place, so we'll just start here on the back side and just start cutting tape off. We got a cool ammo crate here. Let's pop this one out first. Just going to pull this tape off as we go. So we got this cool crate. We've got 3 of these weapons here that we're going to stick back into the crate, and we'll look at them individually here in a moment. But 3 of those. Then we have this little thing over here at the side, which is the ammo pack for Roadblock and his big 50 cal. They've actually threaded the bullet chain into this, so we're going to have to yank on that to pull it loose. Then the actual ammo backpack comes out. And we'll go ahead and pull that through the little plastic here to get it free. Over on this side, we've got this cool, this thing just lifts out, actually comes out. This little mechanical robot thing, claw arm. That's really awesome. Then we've got this 50 cal stand. That's taped under here as well, so we'll just cut that loose, set it to the side. The figures themselves are also kind of housed in this weird tape system. There are these little plastic tabs that actually are keeping the figures in place. So we'll cut that, get over here and try to cut this one for tripwire. Kind of a crazy system they got going on here. Okay, I think that's got the majority of it. So we're going to grab this plastic holder and kind of yank on some of this plastic at the bottom where we made those cuts. Let's see if we can get that to come out. I guess I didn't cut enough because it's still holding on. There we go. And while we're here, verify that'll flip out. Okay. Take 2. Grab this plastic piece and just pull up on it really hard. And pop. There comes Roadblock. He's free now. Tape all over the place. We're going to do the same thing for Tripwire. Just grab the plastic holders and let him fall out to the backside there. Up on the front here we have this the weapon crate. It's actually rubber banded in place, so we're going to cut these rubber bands real quick. I'm not good at this. Keep forgetting where my arm's going and the camera is, so alright. Then that should just pop out. There's the lid for the weapons crate. And then we should just be able to lift this whole piece out. Perfect. And then the last piece we have here is this one peg thing. It's taped in. So we'll slice that open. And I guess that's a joint for one of the back sides of the actual Outpost Defender. So we'll toss the plastic behind us. We've got one more piece here. This laptop thing is kind of on here, taped and whatever. So let's see what we can do to free this. I think we can just cut that off and then yank on it. Yeah, and then that'll pop off. And I think that's got everything. Let's see, how we do this? Set it like this. Let's go ahead and pop the laptop out. It's just molded plastic in there, so there's the laptop. We will grab this big 50 cal and slide it out of the package. You'll note that there is actually a rubber band holding the bullet chain in place, so we'll go ahead and cut that rubber band as well while we're at it. Cool. And we'll flip Roadblock over, and there's a rubber band here. Cut that as well. And then this guy should just pop right out with a little persuasion. And his feet are kind of stuck inside this plastic, so kind of wrangle him around to get him loose here. And get rid of that plastic wrap and the plastic around his hand. There we go. Roadblock is free. And the only other guy we got is Tripwire. So flipping him around to the back, he also has a couple of rubber bands. So we'll slice those apart. And then he should just lift right out. His feet are also kind of stuck inside this plastic, so just kind of twist him around until he can come out. And get rid of the rubber bands. And he got some on his neck here as well. Don't know how they managed that, but they did. So there we go. Cool. So now we have everything pulled apart. All the tape is gone. All the rubber bands are dealt with. And we're free to start looking at the actual Outpost Defender. You get a lot of cool stuff in this set, so that is pretty awesome. I did forget one little piece of tape here. Pull that off. Try to pull that off. There we go. So yeah, we get a lot of awesome stuff in here. You get the actual Outpost Defender, cool big gun on it, rooftop with some tin roof, some wooden posts, cool sandbags around, wooden planks. Very nice looking. Tripwire figure, Roadblock figure, big 50 cal, an ammo crate with 3 assault rifles, a G.I. Joe laptop, the tripod for the 50 cal, the ammo backpack for the 50 cal, and this cool little robot guy. So yeah, lots of cool stuff to look at in here. So let's go ahead and zoom in and take a closer look. We'll start off by looking at this accessory package. So we have the actual battle stands, the figure stands, in a separate bag here, taped here on everything else. So let's go ahead and slice this tape open. Dump those out. And so these are just only the battle stands. So we got one for Tripwire and one for Roadblock. So pretty cool. The little documentation set here. Cut the tape on the plastic. And let's dump this out and see what we got. So we have the sticker sheet for the Outpost Defender. We've got the Arashikage temporary tattoo. We've got a cool Cobra sticker. We've got a cool G.I. Joe sticker. We have the instruction sheet for the Diorama. And the instruction sheet, what is that? Little bugs flying around in here. The instruction sheet for the actual Outpost Defender. Along with the label placement. Very cool looking. Yep, so that's all the stuff we get in the documentation set. So here we have the ammo crate. It's a very cool looking little box here. It's a pretty simple system here. You just kind of stick the lid on top of it and it just kind of snaps in place. Holds it pretty well actually. Looks really nice. A lot of detail work on it. And then you just snap the lid off of it and here we have the 3 weapons. So you have, let's start with this one here. How's the best way to do this? Let's try that. A cool little, looks like almost an M16 here with a bayonet on the end of it. Some nice detail work. And these things do fit in these this crate pretty easily, so that's a really nice little touch here. We've got another standard M16 it looks like. Not a lot of detail work on these things, but they're basic weapons, so it works out pretty well actually. And this cool looking little thing here. I think this one came with one of Cobra soldiers, maybe? Cobra troopers? I don't remember actually originally. I actually had a blue version of this from the vintage line that I ended up pairing with my Dreadnought torch a lot. But I can't remember if it came with him or if that's just the way I ended up doing it. So anyways, cool little gun here. Again, they all fit in this nice crate pretty simply, pretty easily. And you just kind of slap it back together and you got a crate full of weapons. So that's really awesome. Very cool. So let's look at the actual Outpost Defender itself. The Outpost, if you will. This thing has some really awesome detail work on it. The sandbags piled up. The big machine gun here on the front that turns left and right. The woodwork on these side panels. The tin roof. So there's a little bit of assembly that you have to do with this, but it's not really stated anywhere. We have this one post here. And we'll try to figure out how best this should work. So if you will look on the back here, there is this one little groove. And then it corresponds with this little tab up here at the top. So I'm going to just try this and see. That's not correct. That looks right, but it's off a little bit. So I don't know why. So anyways, you line up this tab here at the top and just kind of stick that in. And then you kind of just line this thing up and stick it in there too. There we go. And that's pretty much got it. It looks a little odd, but it works. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing all that crazy or special or anything, but there you go. The only other thing you actually have to assemble is the antenna itself. And on the top of the tin, at the back, there is a small peg hole. And you just stick this in there. And voila. We'll turn it sideways here. There you go. That is the fully assembled one. So it's pretty awesome looking. You can't see it this way, but seeing it this way, it does work. As far as the figures themselves go, it's scaled really nicely. So your guys can stand in the back here. And you can fit a couple of them back in there if you want to. So yeah, it's a really cool looking centerpiece. I don't really know whether it's more of a kind of a playset kind of thing. It really doesn't have a lot of action features, so it really can't show a whole lot. It's just kind of leave your imagination to let it run wild, pretty much. So, but it still looks cool. It's really awesome, and it's cool. So I'll just leave it at that. So there you go. The first figure in the set is Tripwire, and we'll start by taking a look at his figure stand. It's a traditional G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra line dog tag version. Has the nice G.I. Joe logo on the back. On the front, two foot pegs, and then the code name at the front. So yeah, these are pretty much all the same except for the code name, but it's still cool, so there you go. I've included these two accessories here simply because otherwise he doesn't have any accessories. So we'll start here with the actual laptop here. It's got a nice G.I. Joe symbol on the front here. Got a little kickstand thing on the back here. Some nice detail work. It does flip open to reveal a computer screen and keyboard. it's a laptop, so what are you expecting? Some nice detail work on it. We've seen this actual screen itself, laptop, in quite a few of these other, in the movie lines and things like that. So it's a cool little accessory. So there you go. He's got an accessory. The other thing we have is this cool little handy dandy robot arm guy, bomb disarmer thing, landmine picker upper. I don't remember the actual official name of these things, but yeah. Got a lot of detail work in this guy. The arm on the front does rotate all the way to the back and rotates all the way forward there, so you can get some cool action shots with everything. The two little antennae on the back are tied together, but they do rotate up and down, so you can move them however you want to. And the wheels turn and spin and everything that you would normally associate with spinning wheels. So yes, all in all, a kind of odd robot thing here, but it does make sense. I guess he got tired of sweeping for landmines himself and disarming them, so he hired a robot to help him. So it's a cool accessory anyways. The actual figure itself is, I suppose, supposed to be kind of the Tiger Force version of Tripwire. So that's what I'm going to kind of refer to him as. He does have a nice color scheme going on. I do like the tiger stripes that he's got. Other than that, there's not a whole lot really going on here. It's a traditional Tripwire. So they do have some nice detail work on his head sculpt. Looks pretty nice. A nice little splash of color here in his undershirt. Some nice web gear on the back. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot of detail on this guy. So as far as articulation goes, the head does spin 360 degrees. Has lots of up and down motion, so nice there. Traditional ball and swivel at the shoulder joint. Ball and swivel at the elbow joint. And it looks like just a swivel joint at the wrist. They sometimes fool me with these, but looks like that's all we get on the wrist for this guy. Still pretty nice. The rib cage twist feature is in place, and he has plenty of the abrock motion going on there, so no worries there. Traditional T-hook at the waist and hips. Double knee joints, and swivel and rocker at the ankle. So all in all, pretty nice. He's kind of a basic figure, to be honest with you. Not a whole lot going on with this guy, especially without his other accessories. But you can also pull one of the, or all of the assault rifles from the loot crate that comes with this thing and use them with this guy, and it'll work just fine. I really do like the striping on this guy, so it really does work pretty well. He just probably needs a few more accessories to kind of complement things, but all in all, this is a pretty cool figure. I'm actually a little bit surprised I like it as much as I do, because it is kind of bland, but there you go anyways. There's Tripwire. The second figure in this set is the Roadblock figure, and I think this is the one that everybody's looking for. We have the traditional G.I. Joe movie line dog tag figure stand. Got a nice G.I. Joe logo on the back. 2 pegs for the feet. Roadblock symbol on the front, and that's pretty much it. So it's straightforward. As far as the accessory goes, we have the same large 50 cal that we've seen in most of the rest of these that we've seen. So nothing really new here with this guy. The gun is a really nice weapon. They do have the bullet chain that feeds into the chamber here. It's removable, and you just clip it back in there. I do like this bullet chain. It's painted a little bit more than most of them we get. It is kind of hard to get this thing to snap in place. There we go. But it works pretty well when you do. You can also kind of clip it to the back if you want, but it looks much better there and holds in place. We do have the tripod for this thing, so Roadblock can choose to carry it in his hand, or he can set it on the tripod itself. Just snaps in place like that. And then you're good to go with whatever you want to do. So it's nice that they include that anyways. It would be probably a little bit cooler if it folded up, but that's fine. It works for what it is. We also have the actual ammo backpack itself, and this is reversible, so you can actually plug the other end of the bullet chain onto any of these two sides. So plug it in on this side or plug it in on this side, and it works either way. But you just kind of slap this on his back. And there you go. So yeah, we'll come back to that. And I don't really know if it's supposed to go, the bullet chain comes from the top or from the bottom. In my head, it makes more sense to be fed from the bottom, but that's me. Some of you weapons expert people out there, feel free to let us know in the comments which way is supposed to work here, but otherwise just do whichever way you want to, because it's your figures, right? Moving on to the figure itself. So this is a pretty cool looking Roadblock figure. It does seem to use the sculpt from the Resolute line. I'm not a real big fan of this head sculpt. It just looks a little odd to me, but I can live with it. Beyond that, it's pretty straightforward, not a lot of detail work. He looks a little scrawny in my opinion, even though he is slightly oversized in comparison with like Tripwire here. Still looks a little scrawny, but it's fine. The vest looks really nice. Got some cool knee pads, and his feet have these cool metal things on them. So the camo pattern is a little bit odd to me, but I can see what they were going for, and it does kind of help to make him stand out a little bit more, so I guess it'll work. As far as articulation goes, the head spins 360 degrees and pretty decent amount of up and down movement, so no problems there. Traditional ball and swivel at the shoulder joint, ball and swivel at the elbow joint, and looks like just a swivel joint at the wrist. The rib cage twist feature is in place, and he has plenty of ab rock motion going on there, so no issues there. Standard T-hook at the waist and the hips, double knee joints, and a ball and swivel at the ankle. A little bit stiff on this guy, but it still works. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty cool looking figure. It works well for this particular scenario. We'll go ahead and throw his backpack back on there. Grab the big cannon here. If we can get it to work right. There we go, and then feed the belt back around here and stick it in the backpack. And it mostly works. kind of aggravating, to be honest with you. It's his hands are a little bit big for this thing. Makes it a little hard for him to hold on to the thing. But with a little bit more patience, you can get it to work the way you want it to. Or the way you expect it to, or however you want to look at it. But, yeah. It's still a cool figure. They did a pretty good job with it, and it definitely fits in well with this Outpost Defender set. It does kind of have that Vietnam era kind of feel to it, and I do like that. For whatever reason, that is the association I have with this Outpost Defender. And Roadblock definitely fits into that kind of mold, I guess. So, all in all, a cool figure. Not the best Roadblock I've ever seen, but it's not bad either, so. So there you have it, the Outpost Defender set from the Rise of Cobra line. All in all, it's a nice set. I do feel that it's a little bit overhyped for what it actually is. The actual Outpost itself is a really awesome little accessory, a nice kind of centerpiece for dioramas or just a play setting in general. The figures, while I actually do like Tripwire a lot more than I thought, Roadblock is still kind of ho-hum in my head here anyways. But it does come with this nice little accessory crate of extra assault weapons and things like that. So, yeah, I still think it's probably a little overhyped. So, unfortunately, this set does have the largest demand, I guess you could say. So, therefore, the price is usually higher with this set than any of the rest of the sets. And I don't really think I would actually recommend paying the full price for this thing, at least the full price that I've been seeing recently. 40 to 50 bucks for this thing would be a steal. Unfortunately, it usually goes towards the $100 mark, and I would definitely say stay away from it at that price point. It just really doesn't have that much of an appeal, to be honest. But you'll have to make your own judgment yourself. I do really like the thing. It's just I would not actually recommend trying to hunt this thing down unless you just have to have it. It's really not got as much bang for the buck as I had imagined in my head anyways. So that is just my opinion, of course. Feel free to disagree with me and drop some comments down below to let us know what you think of it specifically. But yeah, I would give this probably a 5.5 out of 10 if I were ever to do a 10-point rating scale, which I've never done before. But yeah, I mean, it's a good set. Got some nice stuff in it, but you can find a better Roadblock figure. And yeah, I guess the Tripwire figure is actually pretty cool. So that's really weird to be saying that Tripwire is the better figure compared to Roadblock in this set, but he kind of is. So, whatever. There's the set. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you've liked what you've seen so far. Drop some comments down below. Let us know your opinions of this entire Outpost Defender set. If you'd like to see anything specific in the future, let us know that as well. And until next time, Yo Joe.